Got King West Productions.
So I used to have this mate of mine, you know, the kind of dude to whom everybody takes a shine. He had this energy and aura that would hit you like a blaze of light. And just like sun rays on glum days, he'd come along and make it bright. Now to stand here, it's kind of hard to think back to what it was that made him special, but I'm pretty sure it just came down to the simple fact the man was on another level. You know, the kind of dude to put his foot to the pedal, and with everything he ever done, it was like he was trying to win a medal. There was nothing you could say to him. He'd never want to settle because he always had a bigger plan. The man was just a rebel. But despite the hunger and the thirst he had for more, which could potentially make out he had some fundamental flaw, was this ability to see straight through a problem to its core, from a place of observation which was basically just pure, and not the statement of someone claiming that they'd seen it all before. You know, the type to pass down wisdom like they're dealing out a cure. That wasn't him, not by a long shot. He just wanted to lend a hand, and if you simply didn't want to chat, then just like that, he'd understand. And it's not that often in life you find people who really listen without some underlying motive or some planned out little mission as they execute their chat with that military precision. And it's a given. They see someone else that they can gain from, and then they've gone missing. They're 1 minute, gone the next, like you were never even with them. And the thing is, some people have the nerve to call it driven. And to get to where you need to go, well, that's the fucking system. But it isn't. Because you can see that shit as clear as day, even when standing at a distance. And that's the difference between those people that you meet who think it's neat to talk in riddles, start up a conversation and not even fucking meet you in the middle. But I digress. And all I'm really trying to say is that wasn't him. He didn't need to brag about his life or what he's seen. I mean, he had so many good traits. I'm not even sure how best I can describe him, because there's no one else I've ever met who's been quite like him. There were times when he would open up to all the things that made him frightened, all his deepest, darkest thoughts that he kept locked away inside him, but never did they concern himself. It was always just the people stood beside him. He told me how he hoped and prayed someone would lead the way and guide him so he could help his friends and family succeed at what they aspired in. It made me laugh. It's almost like he needed to be reminded that people need to guide themselves in life, and that's what keeps your life exciting. But his reaction to what I said was that of someone tired of fighting, and that's when his hand went to my shoulder and his grip began to tighten. And he asked me, what would you do if you could see? Then he fell silent and broke off his gaze to stare out straight to the horizon. So we sat there and we waited for some unrecorded length of time until he turned to me and simply said, my dad's about to die. And for the first time since I'd known him, something went missing from his eyes. That look of hope he always had just seemed to flicker out of sight, almost as if someone deep inside his head had just switched out a light, and all that happiness and good in him that used to burn so bright just seemed to dissipate and fade a bit and lose a little shine. And that moment there marked out for me a real specific point in time, because from that moment on, the man I knew would never be the same. He lost his father 2 weeks later to a tumour in his brain, and 5 days on from that, we all stood back as his dad was placed down in a grave. And as the earth closed over him, I knew his world had changed from a place of joy and merriment to a barren land of rage that started burning him and everything, so his whole world began to blaze, and there was absolutely nothing that anyone could say to stop him turning into darkness as he slowly moved away from everyone who loved him and urged for him to stay. But it was too late, because when someone loses everything, there are always those who prey upon the misery with an open-armed embrace, and just like snakes, they can sense when someone's vulnerable and know just what to say to tempt a lost and lonely man and lead that man astray. It's just a taste. And if you're looking to forget shit, kid, it's the only fucking way. Look at my face. I know exactly what you're going through, and this is what it takes, and just you wait and see how this will numb the pain. Now just trust me, kid, take a hit, things will never be the same.
Ooh! Bad man ting! Bad man! Fucking bad man ting! Sorry, mate.
What's your name?
You
What's
just
your name?
won
What's your name?
everything.
Nathan
You
Whitfield.
won. Sorry.
Nathan
We need to hear this again.
yeah.
What's your name?
My name's Nathan Whitfield.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where you from?
Stoke Newton,
Stoke
Hackney.
Newton.
Yeah.
This is my man.
And what was the title of that?
Do you know what? A friend I knew. Big up King West Production, man. Literally out here making things happen, like turning the camera on the right people, innit?
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Big love.
just in the VIP lounge with you, and you
Wagwan.
smacked it.
Oh,
She
thank
smacked
you.
it. She
Thank
trust me.
you.
VIP. Big up KTV.
Big up
Dano,
KTV, big up the
Dano.
band, big up Genius, big up Rinse FM, big up everyone on Team KE, big up the sound guys, the techies, Brixton Academy,
Trust me, man.
everyone involved,
Trust me.
big up everyone, all the rehearsals,
Everybody.
everything, all the effort that went into a
Security
great
as well.
night.
Trust
Security were amazing. Bless up. Forever grateful.
Cheers.
West Production, we fucking love
You're in
King West Production.
Southwest, King West, all the West. We're the